type of nigga that get sassy on the bitch. VVS, clarity, stone, Prezi on the bitch. And I'm feeling like the hand of God bless me in this bitch. Put respect upon.
Relax and let me lead you through this day. I have everything under control, my control. You tend to peer anxiously into the day that is before you, trying to figure out what to do and when. Meanwhile, the phone or the doorbell rings and you have to reshuffle your plans. All that planning ties up in knots and distracts you from me. Attentiveness to me is not only for your quiet time, but for all of your time. As you look to me, I show you what to do now and next. Vast quantities of time and energy are wasted in excessive planning. When you let me direct your steps, you are free to enjoy me and to find what I have prepared for you in this day. Ouch. Okay, wait a minute. I gotta get a better position. It's weird because my leg is still broken and I get reminded of that at times. When I make certain movements, I can feel it like rocking back and forth because it's not all the way healed in place. For those of you guys who don't know, I had a clean break right up here, right up top at my femur, and it completely broke. But it was a very clean break in the sense that, you know, the femur is like one of the biggest bones in the body. So it's going to take a long time for that for that bone to, you know, adhere back to that hip joint. So with that being said, like, it's healing. I'm in a very good spot, but it rocks from time to time when I hold it in a crazy position, or I don't even call this crazy. When I hold it in this position, it rocks. Oh my God, it's so weird. Anyway, wanted to talk to you guys today as I'm drinking my smoothie about, you know, my thoughts so far on vlogging this process. This is my third long form video via YouTube, but I've been vlogging my experience every single day on my social medias. If you're not following me on Instagram, now would be a good time to hit that follow button. But I just want to tell you guys my experience so far. This is my third week on YouTube, Rehab Diaries Ep3, and then like my 18th or 19th day on Instagram and all of my social media accounts. And I gotta be honest, man, it's very uncomfortable. I am a private person at heart, always been, and I am basically putting everything out there for the entire world to see. All of my insecurities, all of my fears, all of my shortcomings, all of my lessons. Like, I'm a very private person. I don't really like to share, you know, like intimate details of my life. Like, you guys see me in a bonnet. Like, I don't even go outside in a bonnet, and let alone you guys have seen me in my bonnet. You guys have seen me in my night clothes, my undergarments. You know, you've seen me write in my journal. Some of the most, you know, intricate and private thoughts that I have with myself and God has been like, that process has been shared. Like, I feel naked. I feel really naked right now. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just turning the camera on and hitting record. I don't know what is gonna come of these vlogs, but I'm willing to just find out, because I have to go through this recovery process anyway. I have to. And I've broken a lot of bones, and I've done this a few times, you know, not as serious as, you know, this femur or that femur on this side, But I've gone through, quite a bit of recovery, small recoveries, to know that it is a complete mental and physical breakdown. Complete mental breakdown of your mind, complete physical breakdown of your body. And you really have to be a mentally and physically strong person to come back from things like that, because your life basically has to adapt to the new environments, the new circumstances that you have put forth in front of you at the time being, right? And then you have to slowly adjust and slowly get rid of who you once were to adjust to who you are now, like this reality, right? Problem is that I had the luxury of doing that behind closed doors without people watching me and observing me and critiquing me and trolling me. Now that's not the case anymore. I've basically opened myself up to criticism. I've opened myself up to, trolling. I've opened myself up to judgmental people, mean people, right? But I've also opened myself up to people who happen to be uninspired and need some sort of inspiration to get up and go. I've also opened that door to people who are willing to learn how to recover from a traumatic experience. I've also opened the door up to people who want to know the process to get to success. I don't think you guys know, I'm a business coach and a fitness coach. I have coached, many personal trainers in scaling their business online as well as scaling my own business online. So I have very good knowledge in business, marketing, sales, lead generation, retention on your service or your product. How to get people to keep coming back to you for more and more and more. And I am opening myself up for people to learn that as well. It's been a process. Like I said, I really don't take this very lightly, and I really don't shed these thoughts lightly. I'm really telling you how I really feel about how things are going, as of late for me. So I'm gonna finish this smoothie up because it's very delicious, by the way, and I am actually making progress here on slowly but surely getting back in shape. As you can see, my upper body is starting to shape back out again. I lost a lot of muscle mass during my 2 months of not working out at all. I lost a lot of muscle mass, But one thing about muscles, y'all, they don't forget. They don't forget. And I got over 24 years of memory with these bad boys, okay? They're not going to forget. They're not going to forget who love them, you know what I'm saying? So I've been spending these last couple weeks like really loving on them and putting the love back into my body, and it's reciprocating. It's my muscles got their arms wide open like, babe, where you been, babe? Where you been, boo? They are coming back with loving arms. So the midsection is always going to be the last to shape because, that's just how it is. I have that's one of my problem areas is my midsection. I know it probably doesn't look like much to y'all, but it is. It's one of my problem areas. And it's probably going to be the last to actually shape, but I'm prepared for that. I've been there many, many, many times before. So continue to follow along my journey, see what I do. If you want to follow along with my workouts, I'll go ahead and post them in the description box below when I post them to the YouTube channel. And of course, they're on my social media as I do them. So if you, again, aren't following me on social media, you need to. It's in the description box. So, yeah, let's get on with the day, y'all. Cheers.
Thought you were just another Romeo, the shoe you passed by in the store window.
This is pretty.
I'm wearing this one. I'm wearing all these. Put all these on.
These are
Oh
pretty.
wait, so you got duplicates?
Yep.
You want me to get you some more, or you want to wear the same? Or?
I'm putting it back. I'll put it on.
So she asked her, did she get her
Thank
mini
you.
fridge? She said, I was like, girl,
Ready?
you never put my letter.
Over soon as I got home, I wish I bought you instead. I got it bad. I'll take the black, take the navy and red. No other man has ever had quite this effect. I sleep alone 'cause there's no room in my.
All right, what a trip, man. What a thing. What a trip. What a trip. Let me get up out of here, you guys. Headed back to the house. So I headed up here to my brother's store for a couple things. You know, I had to bring my niece her gift, as well as grab a pot for my mom to cook the dog food in. And as I came up here, there was a Kings player. I don't want to say his name, just for his own privacy. He was in my brother's store and made the biggest transaction my brother's store has ever seen. I'm not going to even reveal the transaction because, again, that's private information. But I say that to say, man, keep working on yourself, keep working on your craft, keep working on your passion projects. My brother has been working on this passion project forever, you know, over 10 years. You know, he's put in the blood, sweat, and tears. He's put in the work to get him to where he is today. And it's super inspiring to see. You know, it is super inspiring to witness from the ground up, from square one, when he was in South Sacramento in a, you know, 800 square foot building to where he is now. Maybe it was 1,800 square foot. To see him in South Sacramento in like an 1,800 square foot building to where he's at now. You know, he has 2 store fronts put together. He expanded not too long ago because his one storefront just, he had too much business for it, and his business is just growing super consistently. It is probably one of the best urban stores in the Sacramento area. So, you know, if you are looking to get styled, it's mostly men clothes. If you are looking to get styled and you love, you know, urban streetwear, you know, by all means go visit Upper Level. I'm gonna link his store in the description because I'm that proud of him. And yeah, man, it's just super inspiring to witness. Like I said, I was going there on the fly, you know, to grab a pot for my mom. I was meeting my mom there to grab a pot and to give my niece her birthday present because she just happens to be up there at the store. And boom, I ran into the Kings player, you know, making the huge purchase. You know, it was just a really, really good sight to see. Headed back to the house now so I can finish up some video edits and get ready for my pool workout, which is going to be later on tonight. This recovery process has been going fairly smoothly. It's been going fairly smoothly. I said fairly smoothly because nothing ever goes as planned, right? There's always things that get in the way that kind of derails things or pushes things back a little further than usual. And there's been some shortcomings, I can't lie. But the best reaction to a shortcoming is to just adapt to it. And, you know, just adapt to it and change best way you can. Yeah, I'm rambling. Definitely rambling on here, man. Y'all know when I get to rambling and get to yapping, I'll yap for a minute. So let's get back to the house, y'all. You know what's crazy about today? You know what? I'm back. I had another thought before I let you guys go. You know what's crazy? Before I was going on the right street, Marconi, yeah, my bad. You know what's crazy? You know, on my way up to the store, I was ready to turn back around because the traffic was crazy. I don't know what was going on the road, but it was bumper to bumper traffic. And I was super duper frustrated because I was barely moving an inch. Like every, 4 or 5 minutes, I would move like 1 inch. And I was still near my home. I was ready to just get off on the next exit and go back home. But miraculously, the traffic started to move a little bit quicker. So I said, you know what, let me just go on with the traffic because I really need to get this pot so I could quit using this gumbo-sized pot to cook my dog's food in. So I kept going, realized it was a really bad accident. Like, said a silent prayer as I was driving by the accident scene because it looked really bad. And, it made me think, okay, traffic was there for a reason. I'm not that upset about it anymore. So I kept driving, and lo and behold, I get to the store, and King's player is in there with all of this merch on the ground ready to purchase. And super nice guy, by the way. Chopped it up with him for a little bit, and man, I would have never been able to witness something that great for my brother if I would have turned around and went back home. Everything happens for a reason, I asked God this morning to guide my attention and my intentions today. And I read a sermon that, to use your discernment in every decision that you make today and make sure, God's in that decision. And I decided not to turn around and go back home. And lo and behold, that's what happened in the decision. I got to witness, a miracle, well, not a miracle. I got to witness a very special moment take place in my brother's life, in my nephew's life, in my sister-in-law's life. Hell, in my life. That was pretty monumental. I just thought I'd share that with y'all. I'll see y'all back at the house.
Somebody tell me the answer. Me who isn't the answer. Me who isn't. Maybe I'm telling myself that, but there ain't nothing that'll change that. What good would it be if I knew how you felt about me? Yeah. It could have been right, but I was wrong. Only think about you alone. Part of me that cared is still gone, and I know that I can't get caught up. We could have been, and we tried to pretend.
So I do private lessons for sales. I help business owners scale their business online from 0 to 10K for up to 6 months or so. So I do that as well as fitness coaching. My personal fitness coaching business took off the moment I went from in-person to online. And as I'm waiting for one of my students to hop into the room, one of the things that I do is I am a business coach. I help personal trainers mainly scale their business from $0 to 10K in the next 3 to 6 months. I've helped over 150 or so personal trainers reach that goal. So I'm pretty confident I can help trainers scale online for sure, being that I've scaled online myself and helped other people do it. it's all about how well your presence is online. You can't expect to have an online business and never be online. You have to have an online presence. You have to tell a story very, very well. If you can talk about a subject matter, fitness being the topic, for hours, then you'll never run out of things to say. You'll never run out of content. You never run out of teaching people. And people work with people they know, like, and trust. So my student just actually walked in to the meeting. I'm going to have him join in. We'll get to coach him. Let's go. He wasn't quite ready. You feel me? I don't take any calls with anybody in the car, and I don't advise any of my students to either. That's a whole sales trick. But anyways, as I was saying, you know, don't expect to be successful as an online fitness trainer and not be online. That's the first thing. Second thing, you can't expect to be successful if you don't know how to sell. One of the things that I teach my students is to how to sell and how to make irresistible offers that your prospects can't refuse, you know? And it's all about making offers and negotiating offers and closing offers. The more offers you make, the more chances you get in those offers being closed. You can't expect to make 1 or 2 or 3, possibly 10 offers and expect to get 10 prospects or 10 clients off of those offers. It doesn't work that way. When I say make a ton of offers, I mean a massive amount, at least 500 offers a month in order to get good headway. So that's a little bit about what I do, you guys. I could talk for hours about sales. I don't want to talk your ears off. I can also talk for hours about fitness too. But I think that's why you guys are here on my channel, for fitness stuff and recovery stuff. So, yeah, let's get to it.
We could have been, and we try to pretend every now and again. We don't dream about the think about what.
So another lesson that I learned, you know, after being in recovery is it's okay to cry. You know, I did a lot of crying during my recovery process, and just realizing that crying is a sign of strength, not weakness, had really helped me along the way as well. You know, as you guys know, from the looks of my leg, I had to go through a major surgery, and it was painful from the moment it happened all the way through the hospital visit and out of the hospital. I did a lot of crying. And I had to come to the realization, like I said, it's okay to cry. You know, crying because it really was painful. Probably one of the most excruciating levels of pain that I've experienced in life so far, in both legs. As you guys know, I hurt this leg back in 2017. Hurt this leg about 2 months ago. Both equally painful. This one probably seems more painful because, you know, it's more familiar to me than the last one, because it's just been so recent. But I can remember vividly every time my leg would move, the pain was so excruciating that I would just cry. And they had to move me constantly throughout this injury. I can't even tell you how many x-rays that they had to take of my leg just to make sure that it was, you know, just to make sure it was okay for surgery. And being that I do have this rare bone condition, the surgeon really had to make sure that everything was in alignment and everything was squared up, ready to go, and the plan was put in place before I went under the knife. And with that being said, they had to make sure. So I was in that MRI thing numerous times, and it certainly doesn't help when you have claustrophobia as well. So not only am I fighting this claustrophobia, you know, this claustrophobia that I have, I'm also fighting the physical pain of my leg being moved around a bunch of times. I say that to say, afterwards, after the surgery, I was still crying. you know, and I found myself crying from emotional pain, not just the physical pain, but the emotional pain that I was going through. Just the fact that my life stopped moving while everybody else's life continued to move. The fact that my business stopped working when everybody else around me, their businesses are working. When my physical fitness had to stop, you know, my whole gym routine, all of that, my eating routine, all of that stopped while, you know, I was at the peak of my performance, the peak of my physique. Like, all of that just went out the window. And I had to sit there and cry through it and grow through it and get through it best as I could. And I'm still reminded, you know, here and there that I'm not 100%. Like, if I position my leg the wrong way or my foot the wrong way, my leg will rock. So it will constantly remind me, hey sis, you ain't 100%. Your leg is still broke. You still gotta take it easy. You still gotta, you know, get through this still. You still have to adapt to your new normal, like, cause it's a new normal. And I cried, man. And I'm just saying that to say it's okay to cry. If you keep hearing that to be strong and get through it somehow, some way, and quit crying about it, and no, cry. I'm letting you know right now that it's okay to cry, because I cried my goddamn eyes out. And I'm still gonna continue to cry here and there to get through it, because that's the only way you're gonna grow through it. So, cry, baby.
Being your friend is killing me softly. Your voice in, wonder where I went wrong. It was my